Hello guys. So recently, many people have been asking me if it's realistically possible for bread on base to hit $5 during this cycle. So in this video, we are going to talk about that, but also I am going to give you a bunch of price targets and price predictions that bread might hit in 2025 or beginning of 2026. And I am going to tell you how many times bread needs to grow in order to get there and what the market cap is going to be when bread gets to these levels. Before we begin, make sure that you join my free Telegram group. There is a link in the description below. This is where I post all the trading setups, news, and ideas that I am looking at every single day. Also, do me a solid and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the like button. Let's get straight into it. As you see here, guys, Breton Base currently has a market cap of $514 million. The price is at $0.051. So the first target that we need to hit is that previous all-time high at 23 cents that we saw back in December of 2024. In order for bread to get back to that previous all-time high, we need to see a 5x move from the current price levels, and the market cap is going to be at around $2.32 billion. Now, if we see a full-blown altcoin season and bread gets listed on Coinbase and starts outperforming, I think it's very, very possible that bread is going to break above that all-time high and then start moving in price discovery. So the next target that I have here on the chart is 50 cents. In order to get there, we need a 10x move from the current price levels, and when bread hits this target, it's going to have a market cap of $5 billion. Zooming out even more, the next target is at $1. That's a 19x move from the current price levels, and then bread is going to have a market cap of $10 billion. Then again, zooming out, at $2, bread needs a 39x move to get there, and if it gets there, the market cap is going to be at around $20 billion. Next target, $3. That's a 58x move from the current price levels, and the market cap is going to be at around $30 billion. As you see here, every time we hit the next dollar in price, the market cap is going up $10 billion. For example, at $1, we had a $10 billion market cap. At $2, $20 billion. $3, $30 billion. So when we hit $4, we're going to have a $40 billion market cap, and that's a 77x move from the current price levels. And when we hit $5, that's a 96% move from the current price levels, and bread is going to have a market cap of $50 billion. Now, I've zoomed out so much, guys, that you see the price action of bread right now looks like nothing. It looks like it's consolidating, right? And that looks crazy to many people. But the idea behind bread's pump to $5 and why it makes sense is SHIBA INU. Because if you compare it, guys, to SHIBA INU back in 2021 had a market cap at its peak of $44 billion. That was a 51x move from this low to this high, right? SHIB outperformed the market during the previous bull run. So, in order for bread to hit the $5 price target, it needs to do what SHIBA INU did during the previous cycle. Now, you might think that a $44 billion or $50 billion market cap is too much. But the truth is that it was too much during the previous cycle. But during this cycle, guys, things might have changed. There is more liquidity in the market. There is more people, institutions, Wall Street. There is more money in the market, in other words. Therefore, the ceiling of $44 billion, of $50 billion that looked like an extraordinary number in terms of market cap during the previous cycle of 2021 might not be the ceiling for this current cycle. So, if bread, guys, gets listed on Coinbase, and if Coinbase, Base as an ecosystem, starts outperforming and grabs a very nice percentage of that new liquidity that's about to come into the crypto space, and then if bread grabs a very good amount of that liquidity that's going to flow into the Base ecosystem, then bread might be one of the meme coins, one of the projects that are going to outperform the market. And if bread outperforms as the number one meme coin on Base, then it has a very high chance to do what SHIB did during the previous cycle. If this happens, bread is going to have a $5 price at these levels. But even if we don't see a move similar to what SHIB did back in 2021, right? Let's say that SHIB's move was extraordinary. We had Elon Musk pumping the project and all that kind of stuff. So if we see just 1/5 of what SHIB did in 2021, then we are going to hit the $1 price target. That's a market cap of $10 billion. And at the moment, bread only has a $514 million market cap. Okay, so that's still a huge deal, guys. That's a 19x move from the current price levels. still huge upside. Now, if Brett pulls half the move that Shiba Inu pulled in 2021, then we might see Brett hitting $2. That's a $20 billion market cap. And I think that's very, very possible. Also, guys, Coinbase is a leader in this game, in the crypto game. And I think that they have positioned themselves in a way that they are going to capture a huge amount of that new liquidity that's about to flow into the crypto market, guys. And if Brett remains the number one meme coin on Base, then that's a very bullish sign for Brett, guys. I really think that even above $5, it can be possible, right? It depends. It all depends on how big this altcoin season is going to be, on how great Coinbase and the Base ecosystem is going to be during this cycle, and all that kind of stuff. So $5 Brett is totally possible. Mathematically, it's realistic and it makes sense. It all depends on how big this altcoin season is going to be and if Brett is going to outperform the market. The only bad thing about Brett, guys, that I know that everybody's talking about actually is that Brett is a cabal token. What does that mean? That means that Brett has a lot of insiders, YouTubers, Twitter guys, right? That they are promoting the token and they hold a lot of Brett tokens. So you don't know when these guys are going to sell. These guys have made millions already, right? You know a few of them. I'm not going to give out names right now, but these people might sell a lot of their Brett positions when it gets to 30 billion, 40 billion, right? And then that's going to be a very bad sign for this token. Now, you never know, guys. Shiba Inu was probably a cabal token also back in the days, right? It had a very nice community. People argued that Shiba Inu's community is one of the greatest communities when it comes to meme coins, one of the largest communities, maybe the second largest behind Dogecoin. But I'm sure that SHIB had its insiders also, right? So we are not really sure how this cabal thing is going to play out with Brett. But the truth is that Brett is the number one meme coin on Base right now. It has been outperforming. And if we see a full-blown altcoin season and Base ecosystem captures a very huge amount of the liquidity that's about to flow into the crypto space in the coming months, guys, and Brett as the number one meme coin on Base captures a huge amount of that liquidity, then it makes total sense that Brett might hit like $2, $3, $4, $5. Some people argue $8, right? Which seems crazy, but you never know. Anything can happen in crypto. So that's the logic and that's the math behind Brett's potential. Of course, probabilities, guys, are not guarantees, right? So we need to be careful with that kind of stuff. If you have any other altcoins that you want me to talk about, make sure that you drop them in the comments below, and I will make similar YouTube videos talking about their possible market caps at different price levels and how many times they need to grow to get there. And I am going to explain my logic behind these price predictions. Please do me a solid and subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the like button, and make sure that you join my free Telegram group. This is where I post all the alpha before I talk about them on YouTube. That's all I had for you today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.